All right, guys, so this is a review of the levels of classification. Um, it really appears that some of you are having some difficulty with, based on your response to the assignment today. So we're going to go back through this. This is from page 331. That's back in lesson 2. So the levels of classification, they start very, very broad with domain. Okay, domain is the broadest level of classification. Okay, so you think, if we were talking about trying to categorize or classify everybody who lives in the state of Florida, the domain might be Florida. Okay, so from domain, if you remember, we belong to the domain eukarya. Okay, we're eukaryotic, and we have a cell that has a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. So from domain, the next level is kingdom. Okay, so talking about, again, us, okay, we're in the domain eukarya, we're in the kingdom Animalia. So as we move down, we go to phylum, class, order, family, then genus, and species. Okay, so a species is an organism that two organisms of the same species can mate and reproduce and produce offspring that are capable of mating and reproducing. So again, broadest domain, this would be everybody who lives in Florida. Okay, most specific being species, all right, and this would be everybody who lives at 2230 Main Street in Hollywood. Okay, so obviously that's school's address. Okay, very specific. So I'm gonna go. I took a picture of. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about my mnemonic that we came up with a few years ago. Okay, don't kill purple-colored owls for goodness sake. You can come up with your own, but that's one that we came up with in class a few years ago, and it just kind of stuck, and that's what I've been using ever since. So again, domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Broadest, okay, eukaryotic, okay, most specific, okay, and this would be sapien if we're talking about us. So we belong to the gene. Our scientific name is Homo sapien. Genus hominid, species sapien. So let's go to the page that we have on 331. All right, and this is going to work us all the way down to get the scientific name. And I know it's blurry on the PowerPoint. I'm sorry, but on 331, you have the exact same picture, and it's much clearer. So we're going to work all the way down to figure out the scientific name of this organism right here. All right. So we're going to look, okay, and we're going to lose organisms every time we move down a level. So right here, we're at eukarya. Okay. So this is all eukaryotic organisms. Okay. So we have plants, a mushroom, a paramecium, a dragonfly, a worm, lizard, fish, lion, robin, and then 4 different types of owl. And all of these organisms right here belong to the domain eukarya. So if we move down a level, if you remember what we just talked about, we go from domain to kingdom. This is kingdom Animalia. These are all animals. So if you look back up here, the tree is eukaryotic. It's in the domain eukarya, but it's not in the kingdom Animalia. All right, that's why it's gone from here. Okay, plants are in the kingdom Plantae. We know the mushroom is not an animal either. It belongs to the kingdom of fungi, and then we have the paramecium here, which is not an animal either. It belongs to the kingdom Protista. Okay, so those are our 3 other kingdoms that are listed. Okay, so we have Kingdom Animalia. These are all animals. Okay, the mushroom would belong to kingdom fungi, the paramecium, kingdom Protista, and then this tree, kingdom Plantae. So again, we have all these animals left. So now we're going to move down to another level classification. This is the phylum. Okay, so this is phylum Chordata. Okay, cord runs down the middle of our back, spinal cord. So these are all vertebrate animals. Okay, if we look up here, okay, we know that the dragonfly and the earthworm did not move down to this level. So that must mean that they do not have backbones. Okay, so if we look at the earthworm actually belongs to a phylum called Annelida or annelids. Okay, these are the segmented worms. And the dragonfly, okay, does not have a backbone either. Okay, it belongs to the phylum Arthropoda, the arthropods. Okay. So, chordates. Okay, all these animals have backbone. We'll move down another level to class. Again, we're getting more specific. Less and less organisms fit into this category. Class A, aviary, aviation, flying. These are birds. So we're talking only birds here in class aves. Okay, so we lost the lion, the lizard, and the fish. Talking about classes, okay, the class that the lion belongs to is the same class that we belong to, and that's class Mammalia, the mammals. Okay, this is a bone fish. Okay, it belongs to the class Osteichthyes. Okay, the sharks and rays belong to a different class. Those are the cartilaginous fishes. Okay, they belong to a class called Chondriichthyes. And the lizard, okay, dry skin, it belongs to the class Reptilia. So back to our bird here, our owl. Okay, we have class aves. Okay, these are all birds. So if we move down to order, again, we're getting much more specific. Okay, we're in the order the Strigiforms. These are just owls. Okay, these are just owls. So if you look, the robin, even though he's a bird, he's a class aves, okay, is not in the order of Strigiforms. I'm not certain what order a robin is in, okay, but it's not an owl, so it's not a Strigiform. So again, getting much more specific. If we look, we're moving from order to family. Okay, so if you look here, we lost the barn owl. All right, the barn owl is not in the family Strigidae. Okay, I don't know what family it's in, okay, but it is not in the same family as our other 3 owls here. Okay, so again, moving down from family to genus, getting very, very specific now. These are the horned owls. Okay, they don't actually have a horn; they're tufts of feathers that look like horns. Okay, but this is the genus Bubo. These are the horned owls, and then we get to this individual species, which is Bubo virginianus. Okay, this is the great horned owl. And again, the scientific name consists of genus and species. Okay, it's a 2-part name. So the scientific name for our great horned owl that we have here is Bubo virginianus. Okay, so a couple things that I noticed from your assignment today. some of you had some organisms, okay, classified as domain bacteria, but then in the kingdom Protista. Okay, understand that cannot happen. Okay, for a protist, for something to be a protist, it has to be eukaryotic. Okay, so it needs to belong to the domain eukarya. All right. Couple of other examples I want to give. Okay, so understand, if, let's say, this robin, if it's in class Aves, okay, it has to have a backbone, okay, because it's phylum Chordata. Okay, so we're moving down, getting more and more specific as we go down. Okay, the closer the animals are on the levels of classification, the more characteristics they share. All right, so tomorrow I'm going to do another one of these videos, and we're going to go over the correct answers for our activity today. Hey, again, if you have any questions specifically about the levels of classification, post them to this thread here. All right, see you guys. Bye-bye.